Coach Crew. It's me, Nikki, the host of this podcast where we are uniting single men and women through honest conversations. I'm a life coach and I'm here to assist. So, what I'm going to start doing is I'm going to start answering questions that I've received here to hopefully help others. So, the question that I answered recently was, how do I become deserving of love and affection? Now, this question really hit home because I've met several people that haven't had luck in terms of relationships. And not only relationships with the opposite sex, but just relationships across the board, whether it's the people in their family, whether it's their coworkers, friends, they just don't seem to feel loved and accepted by others. And I really want those who are going through this to understand that before somebody can love and accept you, you have to love and accept yourself. The thing that I've noticed that's common among folks who feel this way is that they don't have a real high value of themselves. When you don't love yourself or feel that you're valuable or worth loving, people can sense that from you. It comes across in the way you walk, the way you carry yourself, the way you dress, the way you talk to people. They can tell that you really don't have, a good self-esteem or see yourself highly. So, it's easy for you to get overlooked, mistreated, or not really feel embraced. So the first thing you need to do if you want to have more success and feel more loved and accepted by others is to love and accept yourself. Now, I know this is very easier said than done, especially if this has been something historical for you. Let's say from the time you grew up in a home where you really didn't feel loved, you really didn't feel part of a family. So it is going to take work. It's not something like at the snap of the finger. Once you're done watching this video, you're in love with yourself and you're just full of all this self esteem and you're ready to hit the road. The first thing you need to do is identify where this came from, identify the roots. Is it, like I said, in your upbringing, like you never felt loved by your parents or the people that were your caregivers or those close to you? Is it that you came out of a bad relationship and since then you felt like you never just quite got back at it? Like you are so hurt, or you've had a string of bad relationships where you feel like you're always being rejected, not chosen, just really not loved by others. You have to sit back and say, okay, where did this start? So, really take some time to reflect. I suggest maybe writing down, journaling, really taking time to think, where does this root, like, where did this all start from? Then I would suggest you start also step two by saying, okay, this is where it started. What are the stories or the narratives that I'm telling myself? If it is from the time you were a kid, has my story been, I'm unlovable? Even my mom can't love me, she left, or my dad can't love me, he left. Are you telling yourself that not even your parents can love you, so how could somebody else love you? Or, hey, maybe they left because of something you did or because of who you are, so you're unlovable. Is your narrative, hey, I can't get a man to really love me? There must be something wrong with me that all of these men will not accept me or choose me. They're choosing other people. Something must be wrong with me. Like, what narrative are you telling yourself? That's the second step I would suggest. The third step would be to rewrite those stories with truth. Think about it. Hey, if you feel like, okay, your dad was not in the picture, could it be that at the time he just couldn't handle the situation? At the time, the choices he made in life with the cards he was dealt, he chose not to. We're adults, we make decisions, and it had nothing to do with me. I was just a kid. How could he know if if I was lovable or not, or my personality? Like, really process that now that the fact that you're an adult. Because sometimes we don't sit down and say, hey, these narratives that I tell myself, are they really based off of truth? Put yourself in that person's shoes and try to understand what was going on at that time and really try to get in their brains and try to tell yourself the truth. Really change those narratives with truth. With these different guys that or different women that didn't choose you, are you selecting the same kind of person? Are you selecting the kind of person that really doesn't go for someone your type or only goes for women who they think they could run over? Are they the kind of guy who doesn't really settle down? Are they the kind of person that you really shouldn't have messed with in the first place? You get what I'm saying? Like, you need to sit back and analyze what the narratives are that you're telling yourself and correct them and replace them with truths. The next thing I would suggest is for you to look inside yourself and see what your strengths are. Everyone has attributes, things about them that they can bring to the table, that they bring to the world. They're God-given gifts, ability, talents, and we might see some of them as such little, but it's something that is natural within you that you do without even thinking twice. And others might notice, like, hey, you do this, just so naturally. So I want you to really sit and think, hey, what attributes do I have? What value is it that I bring to those that are around me? Really sit and think about that because we all do have them. And I want you to sit and think about the things that are great about you and how you do have something to contribute and how you are an asset to others that may come in your life. So once you sit down and you say, hey, I've identified the root, this is where this is coming from. I've identified the narrative. This is why I feel this way. This is what I've been telling myself for all these years. Then you replace the narrative with truth. Hey, I know I saw it this way for maybe all the years of my life, but now that I've sat back and thought about it, this is the narrative that I'm going to go with, which is more based on truth. Then think and say, hey, what is it that I can bring to the table? And what is it that I bring of value to this world and to others that may come across? Then the next step is to play on those strengths. Really sit back and say, hey, when I do engage with others or, what activities I'm getting into, the things I'm going to do in life, let me really capitalize on those strengths, do things to showcase those strengths. Because when you are in your element and doing things that come natural to you, you're going to attract people that are also in that element, or people are going to see you in that light. And it's just going to shine because it's naturally you. You're not trying to gain somebody's acceptance. You're not trying to gain somebody's attention. You're just doing the things that are natural, your God given abilities, your God given talents. So at the end of the day, I want you to know that we all are worthy of love and acceptance. It's not a question of how you can be. You already are. It's just you identifying why is it that you're feeling this way and really working through changing those narratives. And it is going to take time and you might need some help. Like if you need a life coach or maybe a therapist to help you get through it, there's nothing wrong and no shame in that. A lot of folks aren't talking about it, but they really are feeling this way. You are absolutely not alone, and you absolutely can get through this. Thank you all for watching, and I am praying for you that everyone watching this video, if you are feeling this way, that you feel comfort at this moment and that you see some clarity in this and you really do the work to get you feeling the way that you need to feel because you are worthy. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, tell folks about this channel, and I'll see you next time on My Comfy Couch. Toodles!